Oh, all right.
Hey, listen, I
That,
don't know what 30
that joint
seconds
cut a
is
little short
anymore.
for me. That the time on that timer was not timed quite right at all. Um, welcome to the Lower Science Movie Club. First discussion of 2025. Gage is in the building. Jokes, welcome
Yo,
to the building. Appreciate you being here. Cinder's in the building. And Coop
Yo,
of
yo.
Coop's Concessions. You know what, Coop?
What's
Give
up,
me
sir?
like the give me like the 15-second elevator pitch for Coop's Concessions.
Coop's Concessions is just me doing like a video blog of just me sharing movie news, movie clips. You know, I love movies, so I just want to share my movie experience, share the cinematic adventures with everyone. You know, the stuff that I love. I
Oh,
just want to talk about it.
the Coop Cinematic Universe
hmm
is what you
Yeah, there you go.
we talking about.
CCU.
Domingo in the building.
It's good, okay?
Oh,
Yeah. Um. Cool, man. Yeah. Y'all probably have seen if you've been around for a long time. You've seen some Coop's Concessions from before. Coop is back at it. Make sure they know which Coop's Concessions to follow. Coop.
Yeah, we had a little trouble with that.
So if
But,
one of games, so they
Coop's Concession, man.
following the wrong IG, buddy. Um,
No, for real.
I'm gonna thank y'all for tuning in and hanging out with us. I know we're a bit early because apparently the post says 8:30, which is just kind of like a holdover from when we post for weekly, which will be at 8:30 tomorrow. But movie club's always at 8. Y'all probably were like, we doing something brand new for 2025. What's up, Kai? Welcome to the show. I should have had you just, dial in with the webcam since you picked this movie.
She sure did.
That would have been, you know what I mean? Pretty incredible. Jokes.
yo.
Yesterday at about this time, you and I were in a group chat, like not unlike this one. Sim was there, and at that time, you had not watched Machete.
hmm
So I'm assuming at some point earlier today, because you're here,
He finished the
you watched
assignment.
Machete.
Yeah, the assignment was completed.
Excellent. You the first person I'm going to talk to after we kind of discuss what this movie is. Um, yo, oh, I guess maybe he didn't realize that that's what we were talking about yesterday. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that you were there for that. Um, man, this movie. So Machete is really a movie that is based on a fake trailer that was part of the movie Grindhouse that just kind of had its own legs. If you can, now what's weird to me is that this, the fact that this trailer from that movie is really what ended up like for real with the movie versus what was the phenomenon that was Hobo with a shotgun,
Mm.
if you recall, from about
Oh yeah.
25 years ago, not 15 years ago. Hobo with a shotgun was like the thing that kind of took over the internet and YouTube by storm at the time, which also came from Grindhouse. And the popularity of this trailer in particular was enough that they ended up doing a full-fledged movie. A lot of the, not a lot, but scenes in the movie are technically taken directly from the fake trailer.
hmm
Right.
Maybe it's why some of the things that are happening in the movie just feel like they happen. Um, and I was gonna show the fake trailer, but it's not, it's not YouTube or Facebook friendly at all. So we can't do that. Now, here's another interesting thing. So Robert Rodriguez, who wrote and directed this movie, has a lot of, I would say, cult classic films under his belt. There are plenty of people who would say that they are great. I don't know if I would say that about a lot of them. What I will say is that Machete as a character has been around for a long time. Like Machete was introduced in like the first Spy Kids movie as Uncle Machete.
Right.
Which, by the way,
Okay.
the little boy from Spy Kids, Junie, is in this movie.
Mhm.
Right? Coop?
Oh,
Yeah, he is.
Is that when you recognize him? Is that we?
Nah,
that's
yeah. When I saw him in the movie, I was like, "Oh snap!" They just making it. They just combining all this, making it all together. You know, one big
It's gonna
universe.
be a universe.
Getting it all
One
one
big
big
Machete
Spy Kids universe.
universe.
Either that or a
Real talk.
timeline got messed up somewhere.
Yeah. AO said Desperado, which
Mm. Okay.
I'm gonna say is Robert Rodriguez's best film. A lot of the things that happen in this movie are from that movie, and there are obviously a lot of tropes that are Machete that come from the same character that Danny Trejo played in Robert Rodriguez's first film, which was also Danny Trejo's first film, which was Desperado.
Mm.
But he didn't survive that movie. This is not the same character.
No.
You do not.
Fun fact: Junie from Spy Kids, who's also in this movie, is married to Megan Trainor,
Hmm.
the singer.
Oh,
They have
okay.
like 2 kids together. So like I see him a lot on like social media, and he ain't really
Right.
go anywhere, sort of, but he mostly is like in league with whatever she's got going on. He does a lot of stuff, in movies behind the scenes and so forth. So this movie, let's run it down. It came out in 2010.
Yes.
So again, 15 years ago, just under 15 years ago. It was like September of 2010 when this came out. Jokes. Had you ever seen this movie?
One time.
You had seen it.
Hmm.
Not in the theater, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay, so what are the circumstances under which you ended up watching this film? What was your first film experience like with this
This
movie?
It was on regular TV, and it was just one of like you flipped it on, like because of the type of movie that it is. Like, and I saw like somebody die in the manner of how they died. I was like, I want to sit and watch this now.
Mm, got it. Cool. I'm gonna assume you've seen this already.
No, this is actually my first time seeing this. But I will
Interesting.
say, I was there. I was there for the double feature of Grindhouse when they showed the trailer, and I
Mhm.
was like, "There's no way they're making this movie."
Well, I mean, it
Well,
was a fake. What do you mean? It was a fake. I mean,
Because
yeah,
they did that
they
with the double feature. If you stay for the double feature, they showed fake trailers. They showed this and they showed Thanksgiving, which are both real movies now. And I was thinking like, oh,
yeah.
they're just making fun of this, So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. No. Sin,
Yeah.
let's talk about your watching experience with Machete for the first time. This is the first time you've seen this movie.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
You had jumped the gun a little bit last week.
Yeah, my weeks were off, if you will. So I watched it
It
earlier than
happens.
I would have. I like to watch it the weekend before, just so to keep it as fresh as possible in my mind. But I was already down the rabbit hole at that point. Like, oh well, okay. So finish it.
Let's talk about that text you texted.
Yes. Machete, don't text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Machete don't text.
Now, I know jokes that had no frame of reference for what that meant when you did it. It was very left field. It just popped up in the group. But the minute you did that, oh, I knew this joint was something special to you.
Hey,
I
look,
knew
hey,
it.
look, hey, look. Let me say something. I gotta talk to the crowd real quick. So look, Candace, I cannot thank you enough for putting this in front of my face. The night I had watching this, oh, I got Machete, I got Violence, I got Letty, I got Jessica Alba. I was on cloud nine in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, such a throwback time. Such a throwback.
Hey, here's the thing. This movie is trash.
Crash.
It's so good.
I'm about to say,
Absolutely.
but it's so good.
It's
Absolutely.
trash in the best ways. Like,
Yes. I was
look,
crying laughing watching this.
I believe it.
It's so
Cause
overly racist. It's just bad.
it's so,
It's bad. I couldn't stop dying though.
hey Slim, there are things that happen in this movie. Like I hadn't seen this in a long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there are things that happen in this movie that don't make sense in the best way. Period. Like at all. You okay?
I gotta go find this line because it had me dying to have something that Steven Seagal said in that joint.
All right, so jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what to expect when you watched it this time.
So it's been a good while since I watched it. So watching it again now, I would damn near say it was like watching it for the first time. Kind of like as things were happening, the way like when you compare a movie like that that's intentionally made to look the way that it does, and you look
Mhm.
at it now, it's just like, oh my god, that cut to the next thing was bad, but I know it was the right. That's how they wanted it to be. I'm like, so I'm
Yeah, I mean, look, like to put it as I guess straightforward as we can. Like this is the Black Dynamite of like
Yes.
action exploitation films
Mhm.
That's what I was
from
thinking
the
the whole
time.
time watching it. Yeah. I just kept going back to Black Dynamite in my head. Like this is
Dynamite.
fitting with
Dynamite.
perfectly with that black exploitation, like fitting that time of cinema and everything. It's just
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a film that successfully makes fun. Exactly, Candace, the best dumb movie ever. I mean, there are some contenders in there, but like they're expected contenders in a different way. Like if you're talking like Spaceballs, Airplane, Naked Gun, this in no way comes like even if you watch the trailer for this movie, it doesn't really prepare you for the fact that this is not they're not taking this seriously at all. Like you
Mhm.
wouldn't necessarily know, or they're just this like you would just think, oh, this is just bad. Like they just don't know what they're doing. Um and
It makes you ask yourself, is this even real? Like,
it really does. So this movie it starts off with Danny Trejo as a federale in the car with his man, like on their way to make the bus of all bus. We gotta save the girl. We going in here. Federale captain is screaming at my man in Spanish, like, I told you not to
mhm.
do this. Don't go in there. You gonna get everybody killed. You better wait for backup. All of that. My man drives to the front door, puts it in reverse, and backs up. And all of, like all the cartel members come out and stand in front of the door. And his man who's in the car with him the whole time, his partner who was like, you crazy, don't do this, we shouldn't do it, looks at him and was like, I'm with you to the end.
Hey, that it was not that
Let's,
far
let's
off.
smoke his ass.
Dog. He
Off that
floors
first
it, dog,
bullet.
and every bullet that hit the car went right into my man, dog. Every joint,
Oh
dog.
my god.
I knew he wasn't gonna survive, but damn.
Hey, listen, that first shot in his head, like
Right.
he just like he was sitting there, and his head just hit the back of the seat. It was just like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah, my man Chete just looked at him and said, "Lo siento, I gotta get out, dog. I'm
Right.
sorry, my bad. I gotta go do this." And look, he goes, and he's just wrecking shop,
Hey,
dog.
bro.
Hey, Slim goes to shoot him with the 6-shooter. He chopped my man whole forearm off, the whole hand and gun up, and just start shooting people with the joint.
Hey, look. By that point, I was fully sitting up like, "Oh, we here.
Exactly.
Oh, let's go." Okay, but should I tell you this? How you giving it up? Okay.
If you didn't know, because up to that point you could just be like, "Oh, this is just bad." The moment you see that, it's almost like seeing the boom mic in Black Dynamite, like
Yeah.
hanging in front of them
Like, oh,
when
this
they
what we
talk. You
doing?
like, "Oh yeah, all
Mhm.
bets are off."
Yeah, we're committing to
This,
this bit. Okay.
yeah, we just out here. People exploding, bodies just, hit. Listen, when my man goes in the hallway, checks every door, and there's nobody. Goes to open the next door, and then they do the overhead shot, and somebody comes out of every room, and he do the spinning helicopter blade and cut everybody's head off. I was like, yeah,
Easy. Like butter. Just
My
straight.
man hit it.
Hey,
Hey, my man hit his super. He like literally hit his super, cut
hey, look,
everybody up.
I was straight to Google. I was like, "Is Machete in Mortal Kombat?" Because I need to play his Machete right now.
he should be, dog.
He
Nah,
should
for
be.
real. They need to put him in there.
They need
Yeah.
to put Machete in Mortal Kombat, dog.
Yeah.
Real talk. Because here's the thing, and I know I'm jumping around, right? I almost fell out of my seat.
Which time?
But listen, when he was leaving the hospital
Oh my god, my favorite part.
and the
What
two
about
cops picked him up, and my man was like, "Of course, he thinks we're real cops. We stopped him, we frisked him, we cuffed him, we put him in the car." And then my man was like,
I frisk him.
"I ain't frisk him." And he was like,
I
"Yes,
didn't
you
frisk
did."
him.
Like, hey, no. When he starts steering the car by turning
What the
the
machine
machete,
turn?
losing it, dog. As soon as they hit the cardboard boxes and the front
Oh
end
my
went on
God.
fire, it's over. And this dude kicked the entire back windshield out with his feet. And there's no way he got out of that joint before it
Not in
exploded.
time. Not in
There's
time.
He
no
Machete.
way.
Yeah.
I was well, listen,
Of course he did.
hey dog, I was done. Like that. Oh shoot.
Hey, listen,
James
that's
Jumping
the
Jackson.
out
joint I
the
was
window
The grappling
with my man's
intestines.
umbilical cord attached to him.
straight up
Hey,
slice. Ah.
This joint is so stupid. It's so stupid. And here's the thing. I love that they gave themselves permission to just do this.
Just do it.
Yeah.
To just like,
Don't take this.
Go
Serious.
full
Y'all
on.
go
Yeah,
in here.
just
Go in here. Have fun.
Just
cheese
go
it
in.
up.
Doing this. Don't even. If it seems cheesy, it's perfect.
Yep.
the funny thing about
We
it
gonna
is
keep that
I feel like
scene?
all
Yes, we
Robert
gonna keep
Rodriguez
that
movies are
scene.
cheesy anyway. So this just takes it to like a completely different level of like, he should just only do these. It should always be these. Now there is a sequel, right?
Machete
Machete
kills.
Kills.
Machete
Shit
kills,
that kills.
Mm.
and there are rumors of a third joint
Mm-hmm. Machete kills
in
again.
space.
In space.
Again.
In
Space.
space. I would never.
No. No.
I just and listen. I wanted to happen just for you to explain to me how we go from this grounded type thing on the ground to somehow managing to go to space. Like, What?
Is it
How do you?
grounded though?
When I say
No.
no, when I say grounded, it's just like
You
going to
just mean
space.
on Earth?
It's hey, listen, it's like Jason X. Like, why the hell why did Jason need to go into space?
So we can get him
Jason
the
did
hell
go
off
to
our
space. I
planet.
forgot about that.
Just boot Jason in orbit. Get him out of here.
And then he turned into
That's
like Super Jason too.
Yeah, that
action
didn't work out.
exploitation
Yeah.
is why. Is what it should have been. And jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the worst actor in this movie?
I don't know. Listen,
Why are you laughing so hard, Coop?
it's
Because I was
don't know
hoping
who
this question would come up.
like I don't even know who you
This
would say
question would
is the
come up.
worst. Hey, listen, the dude that was it's hard to pick one individual because it's like everyone just has like bad moments at times for the way, but the dude that was selling it when Machete, so he ran into one of those security dudes. Like he went, I forget what compound it was, and the first time he like beat him up, and the second time he had the like the shears, and he was acting about he was about to cut his head off, and dude just like don't kill him. Like those little acting chops were like I was kind of like oh, you a little sus, but at the same time it's through the whole movie. Every single person has that moment in time where it's just like you're supposed to be like an A-lister out here. And I was like, and your lines and stuff, that was terrible. Steven Seagal is horrible. Like
Here it
hey,
is,
listen,
God.
his
Steven
little
Seagal.
like close to the end, like when he did that one like ninja move to flip Machete that was like just so fake, like bro, no one in
Nah, but
would
dog.
ever.
What's wrong with that is that's how all Steven Seagal moves are.
It is.
That is all his movies. He's the worst martial arts action person in cinema ever, point blank, period. Which is why him being the ultimate bad guy in this joint is so clever, dog. Because he's trash. And the moment my man hit the high yards, I was like, nah. Because in his head, in my head, I know Steven Seagal in his head, he like, this is real. No,
This is it.
it's not. No, it's not.
I'm getting an
Every
Oscar
time
for
they
this.
showed that sword that he had, they made the sound from the $6 million
Oh,
man.
yes. But look,
Dog.
there was something he said in that moment that the only reason I'm not giving him worst actor because he made me cry laughing, and I don't know why. When he cuts the
Because he was
band,
the worst actor.
no, it wasn't. It was just how he said it. When he cuts the thing off from Just Gabba's mouth, and then like, he's saying, "Go ahead, get out of here." He said, "Shut the fuck up and watch." He said it so ghetto. It's like so. I was like, "Where did that come from?" That is not how you were the rest of the time. Did you really mean that?
Nah, that's who he really is, dog.
Yeah.
He lost character.
It's like, where did that come from?
Hey, bro, they cut the scene.
Because
Like,
he
listen,
really ain't like her. She probably was like, "You can't fight." She probably said something to him.
He wasn't acting. This was real for him. This was a whole real situation for him.
That's what I'm saying. So cool. Is he the worst actor in this movie?
Absolutely not. He was at first, but then I saw Jessica Alba, and I was like, of course.
Hey, jokes. Yeah, sorry, true.
Trash. She's trash, bro. She's
Yes.
the worst.
Every
She is.
Jessica
She's
Alba
not-
movie. I'm sorry.
She's not acting bad acting. She's just bad acting, dog. Watching this joint is like watching Honey. Watching her fighting this joint, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me give her the benefit of the doubt because I don't remember Dark Angel being that bad. Well, guess what? It is. If she wasn't cute, because when she was on
That's all it is.
Hey, look,
dog,
That's all it is.
Gage. See, I don't know if y'all know, but Gage knows I had a thing for Jessica Alba. Like,
oh, I do know.
like heavy, like my babe. Like I bought every movie she was in, the whole 9 yards, right? I didn't want y'all to hear none of that stuff. Liked her. And look, when this thing started, I saw her, I got excited. Like, oh, my baby's in it. I haven't seen her forever. Hype. Back. Thank you, Candace. She started talking. I was like, God, you are trash. I was so stupid back then. I was not paying attention to nothing coming out your mouth. You are bad. But it felt felt good for the movie. Like, because in the movie I was watching, because everything was just over the top and bad and stupid. Like, But I was like, I know you're really trying. And it's just stop talking.
It's actually bad.
Hey,
Just stop talking. Please,
Sin, you egging her on in the movie is hilarious. I know you trying. Come on, you got
it was stop talking. Like just stand there, just look pretty. Just stop talking, please. Just it's like
Bro, I was
nails on a
watching her throw
chalkboard right
punches at the
Oh,
screen in front of, and I was like, oh, this ain't even her. Even just like the way they cut, it's bad. Like she's bad at bad acting in this joint. Like it's
now.
like
Yes. Like
here's
she's
the thing:
trying.
Danny Trejo doesn't really have to do anything but
he
be
barely
him.
says.
Yeah,
He doesn't
just
have to say anything.
It's perfect.
he just
little
got the aura.
one-liners.
That's all he got.
Marin.
Little one-liners and have just
He-
Danny Trejo aura.
he's
That's
he's
it.
kind of like John Wick, or like Keanu Reeves and John Wick. You don't really got to say much. You just got to do,
Deliver.
action.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Just deliver.
that scene alone, where he walks into the house and she's like, I was so worried. Why didn't you text me? And he was like, check that those text. It was perfect. Like he killed that joint. He killed that joint. She's terrible in that scene.
Yes.
There's no part of like it doesn't even feel like it's. She doesn't overact it enough to make it feel like it's over the
Yeah.
top. It's just her acting. She's just bad in it. They gave her a Razzie for this joint. She got a Razzie for this movie. That's terrible, but perfect.
Because of the it plays
I
it.
thought she was acting bad.
Lindsay Lohan cooked her in this joint. Like it's like cooked her in this joint.
That's crazy to say too.
I know, right?
It is. I mean, we're not gonna act like Freaky Friday wasn't top tier.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, at this time, I feel like Lindsay Lohan was kind of just playing herself in this movie too. Just at that.
Hey, that's rude. That's rude, dog.
Cool.
I ain't gonna
Hey,
comment
listen,
on that. That's rude.
somebody else was playing a role and they dropped out and it's just like, hey Lindsay, can you just play this role right quick? Yeah, just be yourself. Go ahead now.
That's terrible.
Disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Sin,
Yeah.
give me a standout action moment from this movie.
When he comes back into the mansion with the racist guards, and he got the weed whacker. He starts taking it out.
Hold on, the first time or the second
The
time?
second time when he came back, I was like, hold on, but Chet, they come back in here with the weed whacker on some
This is
racist
the second
stuff.
time.
I was like that is just kind of perfect.
Hey, bro, the
And we
fact
were-
that they heard the weed whacker from around the corner was like, yo,
No,
So
you heard that?
racist. So racist. The weed whacker, it was a Mexican coming. Come
Hey,
on.
dog, my man said, you ever notice we won't let them in the country. We won't let them. But we just, if they got gardening tools, we just let them in their house. Why you need gardening tools in the house, dog? Like, that don't make no sense.
Look,
Don't even make no sense.
when he ran up on like the third dude, because hey, look, you got it, man. Like, I ain't even
got it.
You know,
I'm out.
I'm out of this. I don't want no parts of it. I was like,
Dog,
smart
he
man.
was
No, it was the
Yeah,
second time.
get
He was
through it.
talking to his boys about what happened the first time. He was talking to his boys in the
Yeah.
corner about what happened the first time. He was like, "Hey man," and then they heard it.
It was terrible,
Yeah.
dog.
So
That
bad.
first run, though, with the actual weed whacker,
Mhm.
when he kept punishing Slim's hand, he kept trying to get the gun anyway. And he kept trying to get the gun anyway. I was like, yeah, this is probably one of the best written scenes in this movie, for sure. But I want to talk for a minute about Michelle Rodriguez. Like Snake Plissken comeback moment
Mhm.
at the end of the joint with the eye patch, right?
With the two nurses with the high heels on with the Uzis.
Yep.
Bro,
In the ambulance.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Straight
I was like, oh, this is
threatening.
perfect. Like, this is cinema right here. This is perfect. I love everything happening right here.
Straight threatening. Listen, at one point, dog, she crosses her arms and reaches back and comes out with two guns that just weren't there, dog. I'm talking about she's straight video game
Pulled the pistol
two
out of thin air.
pistols out of nowhere, shoots everything, drops them, and then grabs the joint that's like on her thigh. Like there's like she has like a blunderbuss pistol on her thigh that she fires and like blows up a car. It's out of control, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That entire ending scene, jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Machete takes a Gatling gun, mounts it on the front of his wild hog, and makes the most devastating jump and fires and shoots everybody. And here's the thing. Again, this joint's so racist.
Ow.
That having the people who are out there just be like, get that Mexican. Like everybody, you know, like, get,
Forget the other ones. Get that Mexican.
get
You could just say, get the dude
that
with the Gatling gun. No.
Not Machete. Ain't like they didn't know his name.
He
No,
was a-
get that
bro.
Mexican.
They know his name, bro. They know
Yes.
who he is. Ex Federale out there getting it in.
God.
Just it's literally like the worst. They're literally filming all of their illegal exploits.
Straight up.
Like, what
At
the?
the beginning, my
When
man
Robert,
say,
when De Niro shot
Robert
home in
De
the
Niro.
car, I was like, bruh, like,
I was like, wait, what?
Robert
So
just
now,
watched
so
that
now
shit
all of a sudden you wheeling out here before, like, you were the politician dude, and all of a sudden, like, now this is how my politics are. Like, why are the gun now all of a sudden?
let the driver run away. You get out in the middle of traffic, just running like a crazy man. I'm
Hey,
like,
bro, the
you
driver
doing?
just turned. Hey, listen, driver just turned around,
It's-
looked one time, just like, hey, listen, but my man took the keys and ran. That was the funny part. He didn't even forget it. He said, shoot, gone.
he definitely did. Hey, she had hammer space. Listen, 100% Heather. By the way, it was good to see you over the weekend. We had a great time at MagFest. I hope you did too.
Mhm.
I have to say, that sequence that you're talking about, jokes,
Mhm.
where Robert De Niro's character gets into the limo and they're driving away, and he, it dawns on him that his right hand man did all of this and set it all up like without his knowledge.
Mhm.
And he's, what are you doing? And my man's like, look, we in this together now. It's too late. And he just pulls the hammer out and puts two in him. The best part about that scene for real is that we get like classic Danny Trejo climbing on top of the limo, looking down through the. Like I really thought my man was going to get to use the throwing knives. You know what I mean? Like he did in Desperado. Like he puts them on, he never uses them.
Mhm.
This is for
That's
sure.
probably my biggest issue with this movie at all. Is that my man never like threw a knife and hit a dude and like nailed him to a wall with the joint or something. He don't throw them joints at all.
Nah,
They just on it, clean as can be.
Mm.
Could have
He
threw
was-
them joints at
Man, the
Steven
thing,
Seagal and
he was
ended
nice
that
with the
a
hammer.
long time ago.
He was nice as hell with the gun too. When he's in the apartment with her, whatever, with like single shots. Like, okay, Machete, like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Hey, listen. Jessica Alba was getting it too. Don't you know what I mean? Don't take
Yeah,
the
man.
one glory scene she has from her. That's
Nah.
the scene where she
use her shoes,
You
the
know.
high heels, and
Hey,
stabs
bro,
up homeboy.
the high heel in the.
listen.
Yeah.
It's,
He didn't see
it's
that
terribly
coming.
choreographed. It's bad fighting. It's a bad fight scene. And when they pulled off my man's luchador mask and announced who he was, and they never bothered to tell us anything about him
Listen,
or where he was coming from, they just was like, "Oh, it's so and so," and my man Machete was like, "That means they want you dead too."
right? It never. Bro, I just thought it was just being
She was
disrespectful.
just like, "What do we do?" Show this clean. He was
You
like,
don't know who the character. I was just thinking the whole time with the way you were doing this is like, hey, listen, y'all just disrespected the luchador in the worst possible way. I feel like that was what they were trying to get at when you unmask him like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in some way, but like, you know, with the way that this movie is made, I can't tell if there are things that just didn't make it into the movie that are on the cutting room floor that actually would have made things make
Right.
sense, or if it even matters. You know, like the
Mhm.
continuity of what's happening in the movie does make sense to a certain extent. Like there is a certain amount of flow, but Danny Trejo, like, you know, I don't know how much. Maybe I missed it if they showed it, but I don't know how much time passes between what happens to him when he gets stabbed in the leg with his own machete
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the movie,
Mhm.
chop the head off of his wife, and kill his child, I assume.
I assume, yeah.
But they make it seem like there's a point in the beginning of the movie when Michelle Rodriguez's character is still in the taco truck, and he looks at her, and it makes it seem like she's his
She's the
daughter, like
daughter,
she's
right?
his long lost daughter that
Because he had
somehow
because he
grew
had the
up and is
pictures,
like leading
and
the
that
resistance.
he was looking at the pictures, and I was like, oh, he's looking at her as a child, and but they never.
They just never,
Yeah.
and I'm like, they don't they don't tell you how old she is at the time that the wife gets killed and they set the house on fire or whatever. You don't even know how he survives it or gets out or whatever. You only know that he made it across to the the US border because the network helped him do it.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to but it wouldn't make sense for her to already be there and be an adult if that was his daughter. So I think there might just be something about it. It was supposed to be like, I think maybe they were thinking about going that direction at some point,
I can see that, and then they decide to
but
flip it or switch it up or
Still
I
something like
just
wrong.
that.
think
Yeah.
maybe they cut something or didn't add the part in where it was like, you remind me of the family I lost or something
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Yeah.
whatever, and didn't ever really
Yeah.
go that
Because then the
route
scene where
because
she like, well, but yeah, the scene when she puts the egg under there and then she gets on top of him, and it's like, okay, well, I guess that's not, the case.
absolutely not. And
Well,
that
she
is
didn't
the
know.
least Michelle Rodriguez thing to happen in the movie, which also is part of why it's funny. But here's what I'm gonna do. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me what she did with the egg on the floor.
I'm kind of I like I don't know if it gets hot in there or whatever. I was a little bit lost with that. The putting the egg under, so I was like, okay, you're putting the egg under, but when they came back and the egg was cooked, I was like, so did it just get hot as hell in the room, or I'm a little lost on that one. So if you know that, please do explain.
Saying, can you explain it?
No, because I completely forgot about that scene. So you just mentioned it.
Coop, do you have an explanation for that?
No, not really. She said like wait till sunrise, and then she cracked the egg, and then it was sunrise, and he looked under the bed, and it was like sunny side up, and I'm like, maybe that I don't know.
I
I
do
could
remember
look into
that.
that.
Yeah, but that joint was
Dog, I'm gonna
cooked.
tell you what. It's 1000% lost on me. I'm gonna tell you how in my head I had already played out the scene in the most hilarious way that somehow he was gonna get these dudes to take their shoes off and they was gonna come in the room and the floor was gonna be so hot that their feet was gonna burn up, and that's how he was gonna defeat these dudes who were coming in the house. But I had forgotten that they had
Or some
telegraphed
Home
to me
Alone shit.
when she walked them into the kitchen and like offered them a drink, whatever, and then they showed the corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, clearly somebody's
Hmm.
getting
Somebody's
plotted with
taking
that
that corkscrew.
corkscrew. Like it's no two ways about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had to go back in the kitchen and use the corkscrew. I didn't even know. It doesn't even like dawn. Like it doesn't even make sense. I don't even know that he knew that she actually cracked the egg and put it under the bed because she kind of does it without really saying
Mm-hmm.
anything to him about that, and he doesn't seem to know / notice that she really does that. But then when he hears them come in the house,
He looks under.
he
Goes.
then looks under the bed as if that, like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. It's 1000% lost on me.
I don't. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that he knew that she put the egg under the bed. And I thought maybe that meant he was going to do something or it was code for something or something. I don't even know what, because
Yeah.
again,
It's
he heard
it's,
them
it's
in the
funny you
house.
mentioned the corkscrew too, because you mentioned the corkscrew, and it's like they made it so obvious. Like with the camera panning to it, you would think something would happen, And even before then, they make things so obvious. Even when he was in the hospital, he was like, "Oh, don't use those knives. They cook through people like butter." And I'm like, "All right, he's about to use those knives."
Oh God, the
So,
doctor
They
knowing
can
the
tell you that,
information
right?
of each one of
But what's funny is that
right.
they do the same thing when they first walk into the house and they go to the kitchen. They make very deliberate shots that show her with one hand taking the egg carton out, opening the egg carton with one hand, right? She does it all with her right hand. Take the egg out, close it back, holding the egg, putting it back in, and then she uses the egg to as like a cold compress to heal his forehead, which I was like, that's new to me. That might be some Mexican trickery. Like that might be a
Well,
thing that like is a
I put
home
in. I
remedy
looked
or
it up
something
on
like that.
Google, seeing if somebody, and from what I can see, for the most part, what people are thinking, it's part of some like folk remedy type of thing. Let's see, that was a folk medicine
Is
thing.
it like sleeping with an egg under your bed for luck?
Egg draws out body injuries and illnesses and stuff like that. Somebody said you're right. Mexico is known as limpia, roughly cleansing, and it's used to get rid of bad vibes, among other things. Although the egg yolk is usually put in a glass of water. So
So I think
most
because
people think it's a
there's
remedy.
a moment, right, where when he wakes up, he hears it, he wakes up, and then he like touches himself as if to say like he's healed up, like he's completely healed, and then he looks under the bed. So that must be, again, it must be like a trope,
Something like
a
that,
thing,
yeah.
like a Mexican
Yeah,
kind of a remedy or
I'm
whatever
good
that
with,
like is lost on us.
yeah.
dude, like I'm good with it, but I just want to know, why did the egg cook? Like I'm good with the
Well, I
whole.
saw a thing about that.
Yeah, I
That
get that.
supposedly that he's so hot in bed it cooks the egg. That's the other theory people are saying.
Yeah, I'm not believing that. I'm not with that. Although I will say that like here's the thing. The way they cut when it happens
Mhm.
makes it seem like it's the next day,
It does.
but it's not. It's the same day.
Yeah.
And you know it's the
Because
same day
she says
because
sunrise too.
when he leaves the house,
She says sunrise too. She mentions sunrise when she cracks the egg. Right.
But when he comes out the house and Jessica Alba shows up to pick him up, he says, "That's you, the second pretty lady to pick me up in a car today." It's the same day.
Yeah.
Also, we gotta talk about that C4 getting thrown in the window. Hey, Slim. Hey, Slim, listen.
It's Machete.
Let me tell you about a body landing on Young's car, dog. First of all, we gotta talk about my man walking up, trying to open the door, and then when the door, you are going in this house to kill this man. You go up to the door, try to open the door, and then you knock on the door.
You
After you already tried to
dumbass.
open it, you pull your gun out.
You deserve that kill.
For sure.
And listen, the dudes outside, they don't even flinch. And my problem is, at some point, dog, even in a joint like this, I need somebody to just be like, hey, you know what, dog? I ain't going in there. I don't care what you say. I ain't going in there. Like, my man was like, Slim got his head split from outside the door. And then my man was just like, go get him. As if like
it was
you
nothing.
go get him.
they in there getting cooked, dog, getting body left and right. He's sunny side up and these dudes. And my man is outside with the joint. Listen, this is the most Spy Kids C4 dog I've ever seen, dog. That joint got fire coming out of it. That joint got an egg timer, like dial on the joint or whatever.
It was bad.
Big flashlights on the joint. He takes that joint and chucks it through the window, dog. And when that joint blows up, nothing happens to the house, dog.
Trash.
The body just it's so clear as a dummy, dog. It's like Will Smith, like it's throwing Jazzy Jeff out the door, dog. But like
it is.
But with a dummy. But then when she backs up, oh, it's a real man that falls off of that car, dog. Like, like I don't. And she screams, dog, like it's a horror film. and it just doesn't. It's cool. It doesn't make sense. It's cool. She ends up tracking
And
him,
then
and
I think she said something too. She's like C4 body parts. What is going on here?
I mean,
they said, "Hey, listen, Jessica Alba's trash,
it's
dog.
100%.
Trash, bro. I can't. Yeah, when she goes, she tracks down the network hideout, runs up on them, and I'm talking about walks past two people who could all have guns. It's guns everywhere in this joint.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Put
sure.
the gun straight in Michelle Rodriguez's face. Talking about everybody over to the wall. Face the wall. And Michelle Rodriguez never faces the wall, dog. She's just right over with her hands up. These two dudes are facing the wall, and she just like, so what, you gonna arrest this? It's a dog. It's so terrible. And she's like, what is all this? Tell me your story. It's terrible, dog. These are all the people that
It's
we
so
think
bad,
might.
it's so good though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
these are the people we help. And like, meanwhile, Joni from Spy Kids in the back, like, what we gonna do? Like, I'm just like, like what we going? What we?
Yo,
Listen, not to
he's
like
down for whatever, bro. He's down for whatever the whole movie.
with the blue do rag on, dog.
Just wait to get the order to say something. Go kill
With the Dickie, she
somebody.
had the whole Dickie outfit on.
Straight up. Straight up.
He with it. He with it.
He was straight
But I'm
cosplaying.
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what, dog. When they tally ho, when they get all the essays, bro, they get the whole squad and they come out with the low riders.
Low riders.
Mhm.
Hey, look.
Oh my gosh, yo.
I'm like, oh, it's about to be
The
on.
lowrider that crushed the dude, the joint that crushed the
Hey, listen.
Slim
He
Reaper Grandma.
walked into that. Like, he walked into that. Like, bruh, this don't lift up and you just walk right where the like that was a Jazzy Jeff yell right there.
Yeah. They
Nah,
pulled
for
up,
real.
dog, and had a face off. And I'm like, it's all these dudes at the gate. They all got guns. If I'm at the gate and I got guns, I'm shooting everybody out.
Shooting every
We popping off. Especially if I'm in the sniper tower. They said they had a sniper tower.
They
They had a
did.
sniper tower.
They
dog.
did.
No sniper rifles.
None.
Hey, no.
That was useless.
Because it wasn't a sniper tower, it was really just a lookout tower. But like, my man, let me tell you something, dog. They pull up to the front, dog. They got the low rider in the front with the 2 missiles loaded up in the front on the top of the truck. Right. And when they pulled out the garage, I was like, are those supposed to be missiles on the front of that joint?
Yes.
when they get
Yes.
there, dog. And my man fires the first rocket at the gate. And the only thing that makes that gate open is smoke. It's just the gun just goes like this. It looks like somebody sneezed and blew the gate open, dog. Listen to me, dog. And he's facing directly at the gate they just blew open and fires the second rocket. And that joint looked like a Muppet.
That second
Going
rocket
left,
was
like that joint was facing straight, going left to the tower. Dog, there's no like. Listen to me, dog. There's
Straight,
no
twisted
way.
metal shit.
Twisted metal.
It's the absolute best. Man in a lowrider on a ladder, dog.
hey bro, he was getting so like he getting hype out there and like like the ladder lifts up. Like
Hey, Gage, they really did shoot a rocket smoke bomb, but that thing opened up the gate. That is terrible.
It's just smoke. You just went back and rewind it. No,
Just smoke. That was all it was. It
It's
didn't do
just-
anything.
it's just smoke. Smoke just make the gate open, dog. It's a
Oh my god.
David Copperfield, dog. It's a magic trick. It's terrible, bro.
oh my
That
god.
whole the that whole fight. I don't know. I do want to ask, Jokes, do you recall where Robert De Niro got the bulletproof vest from?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
No, they never showed it. No. I'm just gonna chalk it up to
I'm gonna
politician.
assume-
He wears it because he's a politician. So
Nah. I'm
I-
assuming Michelle Rodriguez gave it to him because this is the thing. He reacted to it when he woke up as if he didn't know he had it on. That's
true,
the thing.
True.
Pull this.
I understand being shocked that like I'm alive.
Yeah.
Also, listen, I know what bulletproof vests are supposed to do, but I don't know if that joint is eating no point blank 45
like-
in the chest. Like in your heart, that joint still stopping your heart, bro. Like you're not,
Yeah.
I don't have that. But whoever Lindsay Lohan's character ended up being
Oh, the nun.
in that moment, the murder nurse,
Yeah, with that
the murder nurse.
fit cow. You should have died. Two
Yeah,
shots
she
too.
really-
You should have been dead, Slim.
She said, in the name of my father. He said, wait, my father? April? Like, no, you was just looking at her. He was like, April? She let him have 3.
Black eye.
Should have shot him in the face. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Should have gone for the head. Thor learned the hard way.
Yep.
He
There
did.
you go.
Yeah. A lot of people died because Thor didn't do it right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the good senator did get his on the electrified fence.
Oh,
He did.
he got
And got shot up.
And listen, he ate the
Correct.
first bullet. Like he ate the first jump when he was running. It took the second one to get him to fall into the electric fence. Like,
Yeah.
The way they rolled up on him, though, was
Hey, boy.
They just went back to their old ways the same
Yeah.
day, dog. Like, what's my thing, dog?
Right.
I don't understand.
Back to business as usual.
Y'all was just in the war for y'all lives.
Trying
Like,
to
we
get
gotta
these
get out of here.
Mexicans out of here.
They came back to Border Patrol like
hey, they still got their
They
job.
won the
I
shootout
guess.
a minute ago, a couple hours ago.
Mhm.
Hey, they had
Right.
Don Johnson's character survived. He survived, right?
Who?
Don Johnson's character. No, he got killed, didn't he?
I think so.
Vaughn, the dude who owned the land that the people were crossing onto that was driving when Robert De Niro's character first, the one who when Robert De Niro first got to the compound, which by the way, I don't know how everybody knows what the compound is, but anyway, Robert De Niro got to the compound in the taxi cab,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
they let him in, and he threatened him with the gun, and he was like, "Nope, you with them, we about to take you down here, we gonna simulcast and do your execution."
Yeah. Oh, I think it
Don
survived.
Johnson's character.
Oh, there it is. Like Candace says, Michelle Rodriguez killed him.
But here's the thing.
I don't
See,
know.
and then here's the thing. I don't think he dies though, because according to everything I've read, Machete 2 is about him,
Oh,
and the Machete in space joint, he's in space.
And Machete got to go to space to get him?
Goes to space to kill him.
hey, listen, there's that grudge right there. So, okay, damn, where you at? I'm going to get his ass.
Wherever he goes,
Machete
She
will
did,
follow.
she did. Let me tell you something. I don't know what that gun is that she had. I want one of them joints.
Hey, you know what I'm surprised you didn't bring up? Which is actually one of my favorites. It's funny. So Padre, when they roll up on the church to come in there and get him,
Mhm.
my
two
man
shotguns,
in
though?
here. Listen, my man
Mhm.
out here dual wielding shotguns.
He
Them
was.
things
No
have
recoil.
no recoil.
No recoil
No
whatsoever.
recoil.
He was hailing them Jones like 45s.
Put them
Like, well,
things
nobody
right
did
next
this
to
There's
his
no
shoes. I'm
recoil
like,
for cheats.
hey, listen, whatever that strain was that he was smoking in there gave him that extra strength and ability in there.
If you select
no
Cheech
recoil here.
in a video game, that's his buff. No recoil.
That's
No
his
recoil.
buff. Hey, listen,
No
I gotta go
recoil.
look at Call of Duty and
Any
see if he
weapon.
got that because he's definitely in Call of Duty.
I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, he was like a ninja because he ran past. They was just he ran past, ducked in the pews, and then he just shows up behind the pillar, and they looking like, where'd he go?
Where'd he
How
go?
did he get there? He's a ninja. And then he hit that was the worst. He hit this joint. Dog, listen to me. You ever know how long your arms have to be for you to actually reach like this across yourself behind your body and then cross the joint like this on the other side to be able to shoot out of the joint?
He jokes. How much you would have bet when he saw that? He was like, "Hold up for a second." Like, he tried to figure out something like that.
I said, my man, only because it was a cross, because he was in the church and it was a cross, so it worked. But then he Muppet pops up behind Slim again and still gets shot in the leg. Don't you dare.
Hey, that was me.
Don't you dare, though. I don't, they crucified. They're the worst villains, worst criminals. They're recording everything.
Recording everything.
Terrible.
Hang my man on the cross. He got TVs and cameras galore in that joint. He's recording the confessionals, though.
Yeah, it's like, terrible.
We got all the evidence. We gonna get them all. It's pretty bad. Coop.
Yes, sir.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate this movie?
I want to say a 0, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna give it a 1 just for the entertainment.
Okay. Jokes?
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
6. It was fun to watch. Yeah, it was fun to watch it. It gave me those laughs. Like, by all means, it's watchable, even though it's like, trying to figure out pieces and things at time. But it's just like the bad things that are happening just make it fun to watch. So I'll give it a 6.
Sin.
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10.
An 8. An 8. I was thoroughly entertained for the entire 90 minutes watching this. And as far as that whole exploitation thing, they nailed it and knocked it out the park. So
100%.
Just fun times, 8 overall. Like, nothing to take too seriously. They achieved what they meant to do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah.
Hey, dog, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I was gonna give this joint a 9.
I wouldn't have been mad.
I hate all y'all.
Sorry,
listen. Are you telling me you didn't have a great time watching this movie?
Exactly.
No, it took me 3 times to watch this movie.
You are tripping.
Listen,
I
why?
was glued.
You shouldn't have tried to watch the movie at like 2 a.m. probably. That's why you had to watch it 3 times.
No, I started like midnight, and I was in here in tears having the time of my life watching that thing.
Listen.
Off the intro, like, oh, they wildin'. Oh, look.
Listen.
Candace.
This movie
says, Coop, you are tripping.
Yeah, you tripping, Coop. Listen. Let me tell you something. This joint achieves everything it set out to achieve.
Yes.
Literally. I'm going to tell you right. The only reason this joint's not a 10 is because Jessica Alba is trash, bro. Like,
she is.
She bad on a bad movie, dog.
Yeah.
I gotta dock it, bro. Like, there's a I actually have a very high appreciation, right, for the fact that like Robert Rodriguez in a lot of ways is like Tyler Perry for like the Latin community, right? For like he always gives people work. I'm talking like from the crew to the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Cheech is in all his joints. Like he just
that's dope. Yeah.
He all his
super dope.
He keeps all the people he knows to work with and stuff like that. And like I do think that there is sort of like an inside joke that is why Jessica Alba is even cast in this joint, because I don't think a lot of people even recognize her as being of Latin descent, right? But she is. So they make her, but I think a lot of people look at her like, oh, she's white passing, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't really count the same, or she doesn't get the same credit. And so they put her in the role of being the feds.
Yeah.
She, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I can see that. Yeah.
I actually think that it's a brilliant
they played into it
of her, because I really feel like they're in the same way like I couldn't understand the egg on the floor thing, because it's just not it's almost like having somebody who doesn't know what it means to jump the broom, watch a movie where two people get married and they jump a broom, and they just be like, yo, witchcraft, what's going on? I don't understand why they jump a broom.
Right.
I do think that it's actually a brilliant move to like make her the like white girl doing, I'm gonna follow the law, and it has to be, and these are, you know, whatever, and have them kind of be against her, like, oh, you just think you're just gonna lock your own people up and blah blah blah. Like, I really think that comes from probably how she actually is viewed in a lot of ways from within that community, because she's like white passing and whatever. So I do actually think it's brilliant casting for putting her in that role. And I'm reading more into it than I know for sure, but that's what I take from it. And I don't have no choice but to go with what I take from it. She's just not good. She can't, acting, it just isn't there. And so, like, even
I wish we were
the
watching
people
together
who
would
are,
have had that realization. That'd have been fun.
it's joint sets out to do everything it's supposed to do. And I really do. I am like, nah, this is only an 8 because of her. It's her.
That man.
It's her. Like,
this is how we start off 2025 movie club. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like, look.
This is how we set it off.
Hey, Cooper, you saying you wouldn't recommend this movie?
Hell no.
You wild, dog.
You wildin', bro.
But you know what's crazy though? Well, let me say something. Though. You know what's crazy though?
What?
I am about to watch the sequel though. I am going to see the sequel.
I ain't gonna act. Look, I ain't gonna act like I wasn't about to watch the sequel. I ain't gonna act like it. Like, hold up, I get more Machete.
I am going to.
I love Danny Trejo. I just do.
I might do my own review
love his
for the
story.
sequel.
I think it's dope. Jokes, you know, the 6. I can feel you. You know what I mean? I get it. But I don't know. Did Tatiana like it?
No, she didn't get to watch it because she was at work. So I'm gonna let her watch, and then we'll see what she thinks of it.
You gonna let her watch it? Hey,
no, right? That was a bad
time to get out. Nah.
Try
to say, you don't say nothing else, you might mess it up. You might make it worse. I don't want you to do that. I'm just saying. I feel like she's gonna enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? We had a good weekend. We was vibing a lot. You know, we a lot of the same. You know, you don't know a lot of stuff.
You
know,
gotta get you back on the right track. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So listen, I want to thank all y'all for hanging out with us, tuning in. I want to thank you for watching this movie. If you took the time to watch the movie, great recommendation, Candace.
Yes.
It's a great way I feel like to start off movie club for 2025. Hey, listen, fly Eagles fly.
Machete don't text.
Machete don't text.
It can only get better from here.
It's not true, Coop. I don't know if you've seen that list.
we have some dark times.
It might be some. Woo! Yeah. Again, thank y'all for hanging out. We're out of here. Tools and Loose.
Loading snacks.